I am Dr. Venkateshwar Rao, Department of Science and Humanities, KG Reddy College of Engineering. Today I take a session on reading skills. Reading maketh a full man, Francis Bacon. So reading skills is depend upon three areas: decoding, comprehension, retention. What is decoding? Decoding means a printed word to a sound. So when we read a printed word through our eyes and just we utter it. It is called a decoding, printed word to sound. Second is comprehension. Comprehension is understanding a text. Whenever a text is given, we need to understand what is it about. Third is called retention. Retention means ability to retain. So to understand and to revise it, it is called retention. Next is about learning objectives, understanding the reading process. How to understand the reading process? Reading is a huge and difficult and unknown activity. We read for different purposes. First, the aim of reading is to understand the text, a given text. Identifying the processes of reading, different types of reading. We read a text in different ways, multiple ways. Techniques to improve reading speed. How to improve your reading speed? When we read in different ways. How to improve our reading speed? Understanding different reading skills. So different texts are there. Technical texts are different. Technical books, medical books, general books, fiction, non-fiction. There are different types of books are available. So how to read each and every type of book and understand those books. Knowing vocabulary skills. So improving, focusing. Vocabulary plays main part in reading text while reading a text. So how to understand words, how to know, how to familiarize unknown words. Unknown words are unknown words. There are two type of vocabularies. There one is known word and unknown word. The word is whether it is known to you or unknown to you. It is called known vocabulary and unknown vocabulary. Next, developing visual perception skills. So, how to visual perception skills? How to develop your own perception skills? Understanding, visual understanding, reading, understanding, visual understanding. So, the main objective of reading is to understand the reading and identifying the purpose of reading, techniques to improve reading speed, understanding different reading skills, knowing vocabulary skills, developing visual perception skills. Types of reading. There are uh, six types of reading. There are several types of reading. Among those, six are very important. The first type of reading is called silent reading. It is common to every person. When we read a book or a paper or an article, we read silently through our eyes. It is called silent reading. Majority of the people use this method. We think that silent reading is the only type of reading to understand a text. It is called, first one is called silent reading. Second is called oral reading. Read orally. Generally, school children read orally. So to retain, to get the complete information, this method is very useful. Oral reading is very important. Silent reading means read silently. We read with our eyes, but there is no scope to expose to oral communication. When we read, only our eyes work to understand the text. So oral reading means when we read orally, so we give training to our tongue. So there is a possibility to improve our oral communication by reading orally. It is the best method. So there are basically two types of reading skills. One is silent reading or oral reading. When we read a text, we read it silently or we read it orally. There are two types. So, to understand a given paragraph, there are two important methods. It is called skimming method and scanning method. There are two types of reading. Two types of reading skills: silent reading and oral reading. Second is called skimming and scanning. What is skimming? To understand the essence of a paragraph is called skimming. To understand the meaning of a given paragraph is called skimming. To understand the main points or important points or bullet points of a paragraph is called skimming. Next is called scanning. Scanning means what type of information do we require from a given paragraph is called scanning. Skimming means when we look at a paragraph, our aim is to understand the complete meaning of the paragraph. It is called skimming. Scanning means so we are searching for a particular information which or what kind of information do you require. It is about railway reservations and bus reservations and we search for different kinds of information. That is called scanning information. Scan for a particular information. Skim for understanding the given text. This is two types of effective reading skills. Next is called intensive reading and next is called extensive reading. Again, so silent reading, oral reading. There are two types of reading skills: silent reading, oral reading. Next is called skimming and scanning. Next is called intensive reading and extensive reading. What is intensive reading? What is extensive reading? Intensive reading is in depth to understand a text, a given text. So we need in depth of the knowledge, information. We go through each and every word very clearly, carefully to understand what is it about. Our focus should be on each and every area. Extensive reading means read extensively. Generally, we read novels extensively. We don't focus on each and every word, each and every sentence, each and every paragraph. Just skipping all the information, just we go on, we go on. It is only for pleasure. Extensive reading is only for pleasure, for time pass, for entertainment. We read extensively. Intensive reading is it is like research based reading. We read intensively means to understand each and every word, to understand each and every sentence, to understand each and every paragraph clearly and carefully, because it is very scientific mode of teaching. Extensively, read extensively. Now, I give a brief gap between this presentation. Now, I ask you a question: what is the difference between silent reading and oral reading? What is the difference between skimming and scanning? What is the difference between intensive reading and extensive reading? Now, I asked the questions based on intensive reading and extensive reading. What is intensive reading? Intensive reading, reader involves in depth of the text. Already I told you, intensive reading, while reading intensively, a reader involves in depth of the text. Focus is on syntax and semantics. Syntax means structure of the language, semantics means meaning of the language. Both are important. Structure is important, meaning is important. Both are important. It is based on syntax and semantics. Identify key action words, phrases, and sentences. While reading intensively, you need to focus on action words, verbs, phrasal verbs, action words, phrases, sentences. Phrases are very important in intensive reading, and sentences are also very important. Read carefully with utmost attention. While using this method, intensive reading method, you read very carefully with utmost attention. Your concentration is very important and required here reading intensively. Next, extensive reading. Extensive reading for a general understanding of a text. A text is given. Just we need to focus on only the meaning, overall meaning of a text, a given text, given paragraph is called extensive reading. Reading for gist or skipping unknown words. We need to skip unknown words. Not necessary to read, understand each and every word. Not necessary to understand each and every sentence. Just go on skipping the unknown words and pick up only important information. It is called extensive reading. Thank you.